Good day to you. Today we'll look into a chapter, reward management. Now, what are the rewards that companies need to give to motivate and engage people? Now, reward management is a very important concept in the HRM topic. So let us take a deeper look in what are the components of reward management. Now, we will look into the following aspects of reward management: relationship between motivation theories and reward, the process of job evaluation, the main factors determining pay levels, different types of reward systems, and flexible benefits. When you look into the concept of motivation, we need to define what is motivation. How do individuals perceive it as? No, it is a mental process as well as a social process. What an individual feels as motivation so that he channelizes his behavior towards the desired outcomes. What is a social process? How do organizations use rewards and punishment to bring out the best behavior in human beings so that the performance objectives are met? So this can be classified into mental process and social process. Now, motivation theories can be classified into content theories and process theories. Content theories suggest that there are certain motivational factors which are present inside human beings by nature, which are inherent. So human beings will take care of efforts or will pursue efforts to transform those motivational factors into desired outcomes. Now, process theories analyzes and explains how these motivational factors are transformed into outcomes and what is the psychological process involved. This is explained through the process theories. Now, what are the famous motivational theories which were postulated early in the 19th and 20th centuries? Need theory by Abraham Maslow. Abraham Maslow propounded a theory wherein he has a hierarchy of needs, which says that man always progresses through successive stages of needs. It starts with physiological needs, then when it is met, it progresses to safety needs, then it goes to social needs, then it's up to self-esteem, finally it's self-actualization. When we move on to Frederick Herzberg's two-factor theory, he has split factors into hygiene factors and motivator factors. Now, for employees to avoid dissatisfaction, the hygiene factors are very important. It is the absence of certain things like absence of discrimination in the workplace, equity in fair pay systems, in everyday administration, so that the employee doesn't feel like dissatisfied. Moving on to motivator factors, these factors are essential for job satisfaction. This means the recognition attached to the job, the scope for career advancement and fulfillment, which will give an inherent motivation for the employee to surge forward in his career. So these are the motivator factors and the hygiene factor as per Frederick Herzberg. Now, for a total reward management system, you need to have both intrinsic rewards and extrinsic rewards as part of the reward management concept. Now, as I mentioned earlier, intrinsic rewards is that the person should feel that his job is worth pursuing, and what is the relative worth of his job in the organization, what is the overall value. And when it comes to extrinsic rewards, it is a good working environment, a good management, a good pay, and the roles and responsibilities are compared to the best in class. So when intrinsic rewards and extrinsic rewards club together, it gives you a total reward management concept. Moving on to expectancy theory of Vroom. What is the force of motivation which will make an employee go after certain desired outcomes? Now, this theory explains the linkage between effort and outcome. It clearly sets out what is the value of the reward that an employee will get as part of his effort. Now, the force of motivation always depends on the balance times the expectancy. Now, it is the strength of an individual's motivation to do a particular behavior, and expectancy is his perception of the likelihood of the outcome, which means that how feasible it is that he feels that the pursued effort will give him a result. Let's say when you want to have increased productivity, he'll tweak his behavior styles to give you increased productivity, which will give him a promotion. So how fair is the process in the employee's mind as he perceives is the expectancy. So moving on, let's see, will my effort lead to high performance? Will performance lead to outcomes? And do I find the outcomes desirable? Even in spite of the fact he puts in effort and that leads to outcomes. Is it desirable for the employee? This totally defines expectancy theory by Vroom. Now, you really don't want this to happen in your organization. What motivates your employees? Is it pay? Is it the working environment? You as an employee need to identify it before they jump ship. Moving on to job evaluation. Let's define job evaluation. It is a process of analyzing and assessing the content, worth or size of jobs in an organization. Now, why do we do it? To assess the value of jobs, support development of job gradings and pay structures, to ensure parity in pay. Now, the fundamental concept of job evaluation is to identify the real value of jobs in the overall context of the organization. What is the relative worth in terms of the different aspects and the different departments and the business objectives. Now, the second aspect is to support the development of job gradings and pay structures. How do you know which job to be put into which grade? What is the pay which is deserved for that particular job? So, to avoid all sorts of confusion and to avoid any kind of discomfort when it actually comes to compensation, you will have to do a thorough job evaluation exercise. Ensure parity in pay. As I mentioned, the right job evaluation give you the level of difficulty involved and what are the skills and competencies required, which will make you design a perfect remuneration system. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages of job evaluation? Now, it is a systematic approach, which means you are examining all the aspects of a job. It leads you to consistent decision making and it is perceived as fair by the employees. So, you are looking into all the critical aspects of his job. The employee feels that my job is being evaluated and all the factors leading to the performance are evaluated, I will get a better pay. So, he believes it is a fair process. Equal pay for equal work. Considering all the legislations concerning equal pay and discrimination, this job evaluation will put you on a better footing when it comes to pay distribution among your workforce. Moving on to the disadvantages. Now, as is the case with any process, it is bureaucratic and time consuming. Job evaluation takes time. Inflexibility and rigidity to the job. What might be benefit on one side can be a discomfort on the other side, because people stick to a rigid structure saying that this is what is part of the job evaluation, these are the factors, we will stick onto this job. So, it gives you a rigid environment. Gender based. Who is evaluating the job? What goes behind the job evaluation? It can lead to gender discrimination on how and when and where this is evaluated. Systematic rather than scientific. Critics say that job evaluation is a systematic approach rather than a scientific approach. It doesn't take care of all the aspects of a job. And out of date. Job evaluations are carried out at one particular point of time, wherein jobs keep changing. The nature of jobs have to be analyzed and changed to the market needs and environmental changes. So, it needs to be revisited at a particular point in time. What is the process of job evaluation? Step 1. Select the compensable factors. What do we mean by compensable factors? These are the factors in a job which you as an employer are willing to pay. What the organization is willing to pay to the employee for his time, for his skills through this job. These are the compensable factors. Step 2. Gather data on jobs. Most of the time the reason for dissatisfaction is that employees would say the management doesn't know what are the activities that I am doing. So, gather data on jobs when you will understand what goes inside a job, what are the daily activities, what is its relative worth. Step 3. Evaluate jobs. Assign values to jobs and across departments. Step 4. Assign specific pay values to the jobs. What is that you are willing to pay to a particular job or a job category or to a particular set of jobs in a department. So, these are the 4 steps which can be broadly outlined as process of job evaluation. Now, let us take a look at job evaluation schemes. There are 2 types, non-analytical and analytical. When it comes to non-analytical, job classification, wherein jobs are classified into different groups and pay values are assigned to them. It's a simple process wherein jobs are just classified according to different categories. Job ranking, one job is compared to another and they are ranked according to the values, and that's it, it's completed and you have a non-analytical scheme of job classification. Analytical schemes is a much deeper approach and a better approach when compared to non-analytical schemes. Points rating is one type of analytical scheme wherein the job is split into several components and all the factors leading to the job performance is valued one by one, and it is evaluated and points are assigned to the factors, thereby arriving at the value of a particular job. Finally, jobs are ranked according to these scores. You arrive at a list of jobs and their values for the organization.